Welcome back, guys. In this mini series about customer service in your workshop, we're going to address customer service when it comes to picking up and dropping off. One of the things I talk about, it's a bit of a common trend I talk about, is friction and flow. We want to remove as much friction as possible from every transaction we have with a customer, be it on the phone or be it when they're picking up or dropping off a car or any interaction we have. We want to make it as pleasant and as easy as possible for them. So today I'm just going to hit a few points when it comes to checking in vehicles, your front office, your workshop, foreyard, or your car park, whatever you want to call it. Let's start with the very first one. Car parking in a lot of shops is difficult. If you're a smaller shop and you don't have too many car parks allocated to you, might only have 3 or 4 car parks out the front, make sure that the staff aren't parking in those car parks. I know our head office, we had more bays than we had car parks out the front. So no staff were allowed to park in a spot specifically set out for our customers, because we wanted to make it as easy for them to drop their car off, come in, check their vehicle in, and us to drop them home or get picked up, whatever they were doing, get a cab or Uber. It was a flat rule. You could not park in any of the car parks that the customer should be taking. Now, I see a lot of different workshops and I see it happen over and over and over again. And the mechanics of parking in the car parks that really should be allocated for the customers. If you can park on street or out of the way or anywhere else, like even if you have to park in them, park in the furthest ones away from the door. Make it as easy as possible for a customer to come in, park, and bring their vehicle in, and then come in and see you. My favourite, bottle-o. In Australia, we have bottle-os. We don't have liquor stores. We call them bottle-os, or bottle shops, bottle-o for short. Our gas stations we call servos, service station, servo. My favourite bottle-o, it's around the corner. It's huge. It's got like everything you could ever imagine, even though I drink the same beer and the same scotch, so I don't know why I worry. It's my favourite one to go to, but the parking's a nightmare. And I find myself buying beer from somewhere else purely because the parking's a pain in the ass. So that's how important parking is. If you've got a customer driving past, say a new customer or a first-time customer that's never been to your store, and one of their friends or their neighbours recommended you guys to them, and they drive in and they can't park anywhere, immediately that's the first level of friction for them. They're like, oh, I just couldn't be bothered, and they'll drive away. And it might not happen to everyone because not everyone's as lazy as I am, but parking has to be something that you allocate for your customers and your customers only. When you think about delivering the vehicle and parking it back out the front when the repairs are finished, you've called the customer and they're on the way to pick it up. We always had a rule that the vehicles had to be reversed in so the customer could just get in the car and drive out. They didn't have to get in and then have to do a 3-point reverse or have the hassle of reversing to get out. Now, I know we're all mechanics and we should be able to drive vehicles and we think reversing isn't that much of an issue. But you've got to think about the other people. Like my 18-year-old daughter is not enjoying reversing. She loves driving but hates reversing and hates driving in car parks. You've got to think of everyone, not just yourself. You can't look through your eyes when you look at your car park. You've got to look from your customers, and you've got to look from like the weakest driver of your customers. I'm not going to put a gender or a race on them, but I know you can picture a few, and they're just not great drivers. You need to make it as simple for them to get into the car and get back out of there. It's one of the little things they'll remember. The second point when I talk about friction in customer service is phone calls. Most of our selling is done over the phone. I know there's a few emails sent here, there, and everywhere, but most of what we do in this business, when we're serving customers, it's normally on the phone. A customer will regularly book in over the phone. They won't drive to you just to book in to then drive back in a couple of days. A lot of your work's going to be done on the phone. If you've only got one phone line, and this is more for the smaller shops, I know some of you bigger shops have 3 or 4 or 5 phone lines, and that's fantastic, but this is just something, again, just a reminder which is going to help this trade and certainly help you in your shop. If you've got a small shop and you're on the phone ordering parts and you're organising everything for the day, sublets and parts, and you're calling for tow trucks or whatever, making oil orders, if you're tying up your phone, people are trying to contact you, they're going to get friction when they get the busy tone or they get the please hold or we'll call you back. That's just another point of friction which is going to annoy customers, and you can't have it. The way we got around it, when we first started out, we only had 2 phone lines. We had what we had called the in and the out line. So when we were calling customers, it was always from a phone number that wasn't advertised. Our main phone number was always left, that phone was left for incoming calls only. Only if the other line was busy and we had to make a call would we use it. It's just another thing which allows customers to call you and removes that friction or any other reason why. I don't know if you do it, but I know I do. If you call a business and you just get the busy tone, or you can't get through, or even worse, you get the press 1 for English, so you press 1 and then they transfer you to India. I don't understand that. Why have a it should be like press 1 for English, or it should be, sorry, press 1 for Indian, not English. Anyway, I'm getting off track there. If a customer calls and they can't get through to you, there's a good chance they're going to hang up and they're just going to call the next workshop in their phone book or whoever's been recommended on Google. Make it as easy as possible for customers to be able to get in contact with you. When you're booking the customer in, always say, can I get your mobile number or can I get your phone number? That you've normally got their phone number at the booking stage, and if you haven't, give yourself an uppercut because you should have. Get the phone number and ask, is this the best way to contact you? If they say, no, actually, I'm a nurse and I'm working a 10-hour shift, can you text me? Well, then you know. So you can say, yeah, of course we can. We'll text you on this number, because you'll have a mobile phone. Someone in the business will have a mobile phone, and most computer systems now you can text from your computer system. But always ask, what is the best way to contact you? Because if a customer drops it off and you're trying to call them, or the school teachers, that was a big one for us. School teachers say, you can only call me between 12 and 12:30 because that's when I'm, having lunch or whatever like that. You need to confirm with them, what's the best way to contact you? Is there a time we need to contact you? Because, like I just said, they could have a job or a schedule that doesn't allow just answer the phone at any point. That's the second point. Just one of those things to remember. The third thing I'll talk about with friction is having a drop-off and pick-up service. If a customer needs to get a car to you and then you say, we can call you an Uber, it doesn't have the same punch as saying, we can drop you home. That's why I always talk about your catchment area should be a 6-mile radius. You should have enough driveways in a 6-mile radius to support your business. If you can offer a customer, drop the vehicle down and we'll drop you home or drop you to work or whatever like that, it is such a friction remover, because not only do they then go, oh, that's all right, I've just dropped my car off and I'll still get to whatever destination they needed to get to that morning. In their mind, it takes out that little problem that they've got to face of, I've got to drop my car off, but then I've got to figure out, how do I get from the workshop to work or the workshop to home? If you can offer that, especially at the booking stage, whatever, when you say, yeah, drop the vehicle down, we'll be able to give you a lift home. That's just another way that you're removing friction, and it's really improving your customer service. I really hope some of this is resonating with you guys. It's making sense in your head and you're saying, yeah, I can improve that in my workshop. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I'm on a mission to try and change the image of the trade so we can get the respect that we really do deserve. We're the ones that keep the world moving. A lot of people forget that. Anyway, if you could do me a huge favor and just give me a thumb on this video, because you've got 2 and I've got 1, be greatly appreciated. Anyway, that's the next short video for you. I've got to get back to work. I've got workshops to transform. You got cars to fix. See you on the next one.